Welcome to another edition of Influence the Global podcast. And I've got another one of my very special guests with me today, and that is Julianne Ponan. And Julianne has got an amazing story to tell. And on all of our episodes, we talk about different influential people. And Julianne has really, I think, owned the allergy space. So I'm really pleased to have you on the show here. And you've had some amazing achievements, which we're going to sort of unpick about your sort of personal journey. But we meet at the International Food Exhibition, wasn't it? At Excel from memory.
Yes, exactly. We met there and I heard all about you and all the amazing things you're doing. Your book as well at the time. I think that had just you were promoting that. So really excited to be on your podcast.
Oh, oh, thank you.
Oh, that's the dog. Apologies for
Wait a
that.
second. Wait a second. Is he still there or?
He is, but Ellen's going to pick him up and make sure he doesn't bark.
Oh dear, that's what I love about podcasts is that you think you've got everything right, and then suddenly something else pops in. Anyway, that's fine. No, so tell us about your journey then. So you left university, you're at university, and what happened next? What was your first job?
Yeah, so I actually went and worked over in Beijing, and I was in finance, banking, something completely different. Um, really loved the industry as well. I think it was very fast paced. It was something that I think my parents always wanted me to go down the educational route and into finance. But my dad's an entrepreneur as well, and he's run multiple businesses, and maybe I take after him in that respect, or I
Mm,
don't know. I just had the entrepreneurial bug in a way,
yeah.
and I always wanted to create something that would make a difference and something that I could leave behind and say, yes, I did that, or I helped create a movement or a change in the whole industry.
And you've definitely done that. So let's talk about the business that you've now got, Creative Nature. And you've won an award, Queen's Award for Export, haven't you, as well as an MBE. Uh,
We haven't got a Queen's Award yet. We
oh,
haven't
you've
actually
got,
applied yet, but it
oh,
is on our list to do.
we not.
Um,
Oh, right. Okay.
but
Yeah.
I do work well with the Department of Business and Trade, and we're one of their export champions. I think
Oh,
that,
Export Champions.
yeah,
Yes,
so
that's
yeah,
right.
we got chosen as one of those, and that's really exciting because we export to over 18 countries now.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So tell us about your products then. Tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do.
So, well, first of all, I guess I should take you back to where it all started and the why behind Creative Nature. As I always think
Please.
that when you start a business or you run a business, it comes down to what is that why.
Mm,
And my
absolutely.
why has always been to help people with allergies. So I suffer severely from anaphylaxis, and I had my first actual reaction when I was 2 years old. I don't actually remember, but my mum said I was at nursery, I'd eaten a cookie, and I collapsed and I stopped breathing.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
and they were really worried. I was rushed to hospital. Luckily, I survived. And it turned out I actually had multiple food allergies, but severe food allergies. So I was given an auto injector to help me. And my parents had to deal with a child that had allergies for the first time ever because none of my grandparents or anything ever heard of it. And food always was a time of sharing. You come together when you eat food, you at
Mm.
Christmas time, birthdays, all of that, and you always sit around the same table. And I always found it really difficult. I always had to sit alone on either the allergy table or not have what other people were having, and I would always be sort
The
of
allergy table. I
envious.
love that.
Exactly, that's exactly what it was called in primary school. They used to call it the allergy table, and I
Did
was
they
the only
really?
one.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Can you imagine that now? You're at a dinner
apparently it
event
still
and
happens.
is that right? Oh my goodness.
But imagine at a dinner event, imagine at an
Can you
awards,
imagine?
and
Yeah, it's like we'll put you in the smokers table, away from everybody. Wow. Yeah.
exactly, and that really spurred me on to creating a top 14 allergen-free brand, which is what Creative Nature is. It's a brand that does delicious food, but it's for everyone. So whether you have allergies or not, you can sit around the same table and eat it. We have
Mm.
baking mixes like sticky toffee pudding, brownie, all of those things, snack bars, and then we even have our Magiballs. They're like little chocolate balls.
Wow. So the extent of the range could be quite extensive then, I guess, really, if you think about it. Because you're honing in on a on an allergy type of product. So you've mentioned some sweet products there, but it could be even wider than that.
Well, yes, we've just launched our savory product. I was looking to see if there's one behind me, but there isn't. But it's a brand new barbecue thins. It's sort of a in between a crisp and a cracker, and we've just secured it. And it's flying across all Virgin Atlantic flights,
Is
which
it
is really
really?
exciting.
It is exciting. Wow. I mean, you're very inspirational, aren't you, in the way that you have started this business. Now, when you start a business, it takes investment and money. And you've appeared on Dragon's Den, I know. So tell us about that experience. What was that like?
Yes, so Dragon's Den, I guess a lot of people ask me about this, and it was really nerve-wracking. It was quite scary appearing on Dragon's Den
I'm
and
not
being on
surprised. I mean,
TV in
many have
person.
faltered at the presentation pitch, haven't they?
Yes, we were asked to go on 4 times before I said yes. I was really
Really?
worried about going on, if I'm honest, and it, I wasn't worried about sort of whether the product would be received well. I was more worried about whether like what would be said afterwards, so the trolling and all of that sort of thing. And I didn't realize how much that was going to be as well after it did actually air. So yeah, the Dragon's Den experience was incredible. I think it's definitely worth it for entrepreneurs out there.
Mm.
We sold out in all of the supermarkets we were in within days, so it was
Wow.
fantastic to be able to be
Wow.
part of that.
Yeah, but you didn't take the fun you didn't get any funding from it, did you?
We turned it down.
That's right. I remember you said you turned it down. Yes, yes. But then obviously you've then gone and got funding because you need to expand and grow. And what was that like? Was it easier because you've been on Dragon's Den to pitch it to others or what?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Was it easier to go and pitch again, having been on Dragon's Den and turned it down?
I think it it was really tough turning it down in the first place. So for example, when you're there, my parents were like, "How could you how can you turn that down? Like it's such a great opportunity because they see people like Levi Roots and amazing successful businesses that have gone on Dragon's Den. But I think what you don't see is all the other businesses that may have said no as well and what they've done and or what they've achieved.
Yeah,
So that was really difficult. But what Dragon's Den did do was give us a platform where our product was seen, we were seen
absolutely.
as entrepreneurs, and getting that feedback. We got some fantastic feedback saying we are true entrepreneurs, things like that. Um, and then after that, a year later, I did a Seeders campaign, a crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah, and how much did you manage to secure with that?
We raised so we our goal was around 350,000 at the beginning, but we overfunded in literally I think it was like 4 or 5 days. It was so quick. We were 75% funded in one day, and then it just snowballed. And I think we reached over 500,000 at a 6 million valuation.
Wow, that's so
And
good
if you compare that to the um if you compare that
for
to
the
the
offer.
offer, which was 300 no sorry 75,000 for 20%, I think it's so different.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely it is. So you did good. And well done. So so we now move on. What's the you've taken what I love about what you've done here. This isn't just about you selling a product range for people that suffer with allergies, but you've taken it as part of your mission, haven't you? As you were talking to me earlier before this, and you've reached out to schools, and this has been a core part of your marketing strategy. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I th so with marketing, when you're first starting out, it's you don't have a big budget. You haven't, unless
Or
you've
at
won the
all.
lottery. Yeah, or at all. Like at the beginning, we bootstrapped it completely. And we got the first actual time I went out for investment, I got turned down. I got called a little girl. I got said I wouldn't launch into supermarket. All of these different things, and
God.
it was difficult. And to be able to have a like a marketing budget, it seemed like how would we ever do that? But I think it's all about getting really creative with your marketing.
Mm,
And just because you don't have budget, there are ways to partner with people, collaborate with people. Influencer marketing at the time, back then, it was very different. It was more influencers that were really interested in your product and
yeah.
wanted to post about it. You could gift them, and they would post. On we even had Little Mix baking with our baking mixes over
Really?
lockdown because they messaged us saying, "Can we try some of your banana bread?" And yeah, we sent it out, and they absolutely loved it. So yeah, and then they posted it on their story, and it was fantastic because we got Amazon's choice for banana bread and all of these different things. But as I said, when you're first starting, you've got to be very resourceful with very little resource.
Mm, mm,
Now, there are ways of doing this. There's lots of different types of groups that offer like marketing, advertising spend that you can pitch to. There's grants available. There's we did a lot of work with Department for International Trade, where you can apply to their trade missions, which allows you to go out there and showcase your product. Obviously, you have to be export ready to be able to do that.
hmm.
But I think there's lots of different things that you can do. We even did recently a allergy awareness campaign, and I think it's really important for brands to align with their mission. So,
Mm,
if our mission
totally.
is to help people with allergies, so by default, when I received my MBE, I wanted to make sure that no one had to feel that they had to sit alone at the allergy table in primary school. So we wanted to go into primary schools and educate other children with allergies so that they could go, oh, yeah, how do I keep my friends safe? How do I use an EpiPen? Why shouldn't
Mm.
I bring in nuts to school or whatever that might be? And we launched that campaign as a allergy awareness assembly, and we trained over 135,000 children in a week, which was
Wow.
really fantastic. But from that, it wasn't just it wasn't just the education that we gave, but mums and dads were approaching us, and teachers were saying, "Where can I get that product?" Like, we'd it it snowballs, and I think that's the fantastic effect of things like this.
Yeah. Well, I always say a brand is what somebody says about you when you're not in the room, and it's getting other people and social advocates to buy into you and your story. And I love the fact that your mission is central and core to what the business is all about, isn't it? I mean, the fact that you refer to it as the allergy table, it people can relate to that and going back and actually trying to solve an issue and a problem on a big scale. So yeah, that's really fantastic. So you mentioned influencers. Are you using influencers like foodies or allergy influencers that have, are you using them at the moment?
Yes, we do. We have an affiliate program
Great.
um, where someone can become an affiliate, and we'll send them product and um, various sort of discounts that they can also give to um, their audience,
Followers. Yeah,
which works
audience.
quite well. And we have like our exclusive influencers as well, which are who tend to all either have allergies or have children with allergies, and they get the brand new product. So before they even hit the market, we'll choose 50 or 100 of them, send them all out, and we'll post all on the same day. And
Mate.
the amount of amplification is incredible because you see a sea of posts of Creative Nature, like new savory product or sticky toffee pudding, and it works so well because it's creating that buzz, but also it's creating that FOMO that people really, really want that product, but they can't get it anywhere yet.
Yeah, yeah. And And I think you've done a really good job in ticking one of the most important boxes with influencers, is giving them exclusive access. And I always say when I talk about influencer marketing, influencers, they, ideally they want to be paid for collaborations, but they don't. If you can do things that actually assist and help them nurture and grow their audience because of the content is exclusive, which is effectively what you've done for a short window. It's a really great strategy, isn't it? And obviously the results have proven. So, out of interest, I don't know if you're able to give us how much of your total marketing spend now do you think or sales have come as a result of influencer marketing strategy?
I'm not sure I could probably pinpoint that for you. I'd probably have to do some digging, but
But
it definitely went.
as a straw poll, would you say?
I I think because everything feeds into the everything else,
Of
I'm not
course.
sure exactly how much the influencer marketing does. But I would say we're using about 15 to 20% of our budget overall to go into campaigns like that that feed into the supermarkets and things like that.
That's good, isn't it? And I think it's you are right in your answer there. Sometimes it's difficult to pinpoint exactly because it's part of a coordinated campaign, which is a whole bunch of
Like,
things
yes,
together. And
exactly.
influencer marketing is one element.
For
The only
example,
reason
Matilda, I don't know if you saw our Matilda campaign. We partnered with Sony for the new release of their movie Matilda. We had an exclusive event where we invited influencers down and did a bake off with our products.
did
But
you? Wow.
you wouldn't really be able to tell it how much came from the influencers and how much came from Matilda promotion on pack. But all together, it was fantastic because it amplified the message.
And what I think you've also said there is how important it is to do stuff at the same time. So it's, there are opportunities to do stuff throughout the course of the year, and there's a lot of progress now with what we call always on campaigns, where people are working with, like you might be with your affiliate program. But there's nothing beats everybody doing something in a very tight window because it affects positively the algorithm as well because people are talking about it and it's sharing as much as anything else. So what about the business on? Are you on TikTok at all?
We have recently started TikTok, and that's
Okay.
one of the avenues that we're definitely putting more resource into. Versus we've sort of we're moving away from Instagram and moving more towards TikTok and Facebook in particular, as we see that as a higher conversion and also a more educational tool with
Mm,
TikTok. So we can talk about different things on the news that are happening in the allergy world.
of
We can
course.
also jump on trends. We can also be very authentic with our brand and playful. Whereas I think with Instagram, what we found was it was very much, which we still do. We still have a fantastic, I guess, brochure. It's like our online brochure of lots of different recipes, a few behind the team posts as well. But
Mm.
but it's more that window for people to see the brand, whereas TikTok is actually giving more information and it's a lot more playful.
Absolutely. And so just going back to you now as an entrepreneur, what would you say, what advice would you give to aspiring, perhaps female entrepreneurs, that you would share a few of your little nuggets and tips?
I would definitely say don't be afraid to ask for help from other entrepreneurs as well. I think I get a lot of messages throughout the day on LinkedIn of, oh, could you help me with this? Or do you know this person in this industry? Or, oh, you've done a campaign. How did it go? As yes, okay, you have to take some things with a pinch of salt, but people that have been there and done it, they're more likely to share. And especially when you've gone through some of the pitfalls and come out the other side, you're willing to give that time to another person to help them.
Yeah.
That would be one of the things. My other thing would be the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program for other entrepreneurs. So if they haven't heard of that, it's a fantastic program that enables you to study, but also study with a group of people. It's like around 40 of you together in a cohort,
Mm.
and you really learn from peer-to-peer learning. And there are companies in there from, I guess, starting out on their journey all the way up to sort of the 20, 30 million pound companies, which you kind of have the same problems, but it's just on a larger scale
Of
sometimes. So
course,
working it
absolutely.
out together, it
Yeah,
works. It really does work fantastically well.
yeah.
Oh, and you get to study at Oxford as well, and they cover
Oh,
the
and you get to
course,
study at Oxford.
which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Absolutely, it is. Well, look, it's so lovely to see you again, and I'm so pleased that you've been so successful. Because I know it isn't always easy. But I wish you all the very best for the future, and a prosperous 2024.
And back at you as well. I think that it's fantastic to be able to be on your podcast, and I wish you a successful year as well ahead.
Lovely. Thank you so much.